Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and today I want to give you a guide to Giant Boss Raid to help you put together some teams, to help you organize with your alliance possibly, and to fight the boss correctly, because I see still a lot of people making mistakes, and it is a very difficult fight. So I wanted to give you as much information as possible so that you can actually win. And I obviously want to flex a little bit because it's a really fun but difficult game mode, and I can do it. And so this is the first team I'm going to show you guys a clear with, or hopefully a clear with. This is Thor as the main DPS, Wasp as a leadership slash support with the debuff, and the debuff is extremely important, and then Valkyrie as another support. Alternatively, what you can do as well, and if you're struggling, is to sub out one of your support characters and add a second DPS character. So I could possibly add in someone like Quicksilver, for example, but I think this time around I can do it with just Thor because he's tier 3. He's very powerful. Now for this one, I'm going to be inviting my alliance members. I've coordinated with some of them. You're better off, of course, playing with people that you know how to play the game, and people that you can communicate with and tell them, hey, bring good teams. But sometimes you don't have that option, and of course you can public lobby it up and play with random people, so that is an option. But of course, you know how it is. Like World Boss Invasion, you're more likely than not, going to get dumb players. So if you see dumb players, don't worry, tell them to watch this video, and then hopefully you can win without them, and if not, fuck them and try again. But the big thing I want to give you guys the clue on before we jump into this first fight, because once we get into the fight, I'm just going to be talking about the mechanics of the fight, is the team composition. You desperately need those two big things. You need someone that deals a lot of damage. So already Tekken is bringing in Cable as the main damage, and Teddy is bringing, you can't see Teddy, but he's bringing in Deadpool and Black Panther. But both of them don't have the debuff anywhere. They don't have the Wasp debuff from the tier 2 passive, and they also don't have the debuff leadership, like Odin's leadership, or Supergiant's leadership, Sentinel's leadership, Jean Grey's leadership, Strife's leadership, Angel's leadership. That's super important in this game mode, because if you don't see what's going on, Master Mold actually has a lot of debuff effects, and those debuff effects will basically kill you. So the first part of the fight, you come in here with your alliance members or your teammates. Please press the co-op skill. It'll deal extra damage. It'll help you beat the stage faster. And you basically have to kill the sentinels that Master Mold will summon. You can't hit Master Mold yet. He's not vulnerable to damage. And you just have to kill the ads that come by. Of course, the red lines on the ground, whether they're circles or whether they're kind of carpets, those will do damage, so you want to avoid those small red lines. Additionally, you see those 3 white lines that are appearing underneath my character's icon. Those will also mean that Master Mold is targeting you. After that, once you can start fighting him, it'll say Master Mold is vulnerable. We already passed that part. And you can see there that Teddy got frozen. He didn't bring a debuff, and now Teddy's dead. Well, there you go. He just switched to Deadpool. But the first part of the battle, he's going to alternate between 2 sides of the battlefield, so you need to walk left and right. I'm kind of just dodging to show you guys. And then he sweeps the middle part of the arena. We're going back, and he's shooting on the right side first, or the right side of the screen, and now he's going to do the left side. So you're going to see the left side. Actually, we didn't. Once you get to 40 bars, he says, "You scum!" and he teleports away. You want to run to the back of the arena because he's going to jump down. And now the second part of the battle begins, and he starts to do these double beam attacks. This double beam attack is not that bad. You can stay close to him and kind of hug around him and run in a circle to avoid that. After that, he's going to pound the ground, and it's really not that difficult. Once you get down to about 25 bars-ish, he's going to do a new attack where he jumps up into the air. He hasn't done the no, not yet. He's gonna do the jump attack soon. We're taking his damage, we're taking his health down pretty fast. You might skip that one, but now he's trying to regain health. So this one is just like the Black Dwarf phase, where he has a shield that you need to break. The shield, once it's broken, will... Oh, I switched characters by accident. Once the shield breaks, you won't have him heal, but if the shield doesn't break, as it's not going to break now because we're not doing enough damage, he's going to regain health. So I'm going to show you guys what that looks like. Oh, we actually killed him. There was some lag there. I'm not too sure what happened. The stage is a little bit wonky from time to time in terms of what happens, but there are... that is a basic clear. That's kind of one of the easier clears that I've ever done, and I was obviously carried by my teammates who did the majority of the damage. But that is the basic kind of attacks that you can go for. That was a little bit too easy and it went by a little bit too quickly, so I want to try again with a slightly different team so you guys can get a feel for what it looks like in a longer, more drawn out battle where you don't have the kind of the luck and the luxury of having your teammates carry you. So we're going to try with this team. We're going to be using, although Deadpool's leadership is very good for Deadpool, I used Wasp, so I don't have a debuff team anymore. So I'm going to use Angel's leadership just so that Deadpool never gets debuffed. And then I'm bringing in Ebony Maw as a support character who's going to let Deadpool do more damage. But because I'm kind of leaning on Deadpool to do all the damage, if he dies, I'm kind of screwed. We're going to just do a public lobby here. I just want to play with 2 random people. It doesn't matter if they're garbage or not, because I want to show you guys what happens as the fight goes on. And characters like Tier 3 Captain America, Tier 3 Deadpool, Tier 3 Black Panther, and Thor, they can do this stage almost solo. Probably Deadpool and Captain America are the better ones for that, but definitely Deadpool can solo this. I'm not too sure about the other ones, but they're all very good. Additionally, you can bring in other characters who have high damage, but I don't want to stress damage too much because survivability is also really important. If you have 3 players who are coordinated and they bring good damage, not insane cable damage, but if they all bring good damage, you can definitely beat this stage. You don't need to have maxed out top of the line Tier 3 Deadpools to beat this because you have 10 minutes to do it, so you can definitely take your time. And I think the majority of people who struggle with this game mode, besides obviously disconnecting and bullshit like that, is that they just rush it and they do all their skills and they kind of don't pay attention to all the attacks, and they treat it more like Extreme Alliance Battle. It's not like Extreme Alliance Battle. This is like Thanos World Boss Ultimate on super steroids. So you don't want to die to super steroids, obviously. So we're going to start this off, again, same exact routine as before. The Sentinels come in first, and you got to kill them first before you can get to Master Mold. Starts off with 80 bars of health. And we know that the first thing he's going to do... Okay, great. We got to disconnect at the very beginning. So this is pretty much your typical, your average giant boss fight. So you guys that were hating at the beginning of the video, oh man, that first clear was so easy, Cynicalex. My clears don't look like that. Okay, this is what your clears look like. Starting of the match, one person immediately disconnects. This is more like kind of your average Marvel Future Fight player experience. But that's okay. That's what we wanted to emulate with some of these clears. So I'm going to just keep going along. I got lots of time, 10 minutes still, 9 minutes and 15 seconds. We're just going to kill all of these robots now, these Sentinels with Tier 3 skill from Deadpool. 2 things that are really good in this fight, of course, we mentioned the debuff. Those yellow circles will hurt you, so you don't want to stand in them. Debuff is really important for leadership or Wasp passive, and healing. So now that he's vulnerable, you can see he's attacking the right side first. And now he's going to attack the left side. Look at the ground. Red, you want to move to the other side. That's kind of your basic strategy. You're moving from side to side, and you're not getting hit. If you get hit, he's going to do a swipe here at the front, so you want to step back a little bit. If you get hit by those beams, he's going to freeze you, like you saw Teddy getting frozen, and you're going to take a bunch of damage, and you're probably going to die. So if you get stuck there and you don't have debuff, my best advice to you is try to switch. If you can't switch, you're going to die. Just accept it. Switching is also a very important, potential strategy because of the fact that it saves your character. And if you have VIP above level 4 VIP, you will get a tag heal. So tag healing does work in this game mode, so you can take advantage of that to kind of protect some of your weaker characters. Some people bring in 3 damage characters at the same time. I don't recommend that, but in that case, you can just constantly switch every 10 or 15 seconds to constantly get a heal back, as long as you're, of course, at least VIP 4. There, I got hit by the beams, but I did not get crowd controlled. I didn't get feared and frozen, and I didn't take damage because of Angel's leadership. So it's really important that you bring some kind of debuff. But this phase is fairly easy. Once you get him down to, I think, 42 or 41 bars, he says, "You scum!" And then this is where the more difficult part of the fight starts. So you always want to run away. Don't stay there because you will get hit. You can see Thor took about 20,000 health damage, and then he's back up. And here, again, with the beams, you want to stay close to him. If you stay close to him, you can see I can run underneath the beams. I don't get hit. And then after this, he's just going to do some stomping. Here, you just have to use iframes to dodge him. It doesn't seem like he has any abilities that iframe pierce or iframe penetrate, so iframes will protect you. but you still need to be careful and be aware of certain attacks, because when he does, for example, an attack where he jumps up into the air and then lands, there's no target because he's gone, so you can't iframe. So if you're not careful in that moment, you'll die. The only way to dodge that attack when he does leap up is to run outside of the... There we go. Run outside of the battlefield. And, oh, everyone's dead, so it's just me. You can see I was away, so I didn't take any damage, so... I see, and there, the angel passive. This is the other big attack that he does. He sticks both hands underneath the ground, and he summons these purple circles. Of course, you guys know from World Boss Ultimate the purple circles are bad. You want to dodge those. But this is kind of a perfect tutorial because you guys can see what's really happening. He's also just doing a regular ground pound here. This is fairly easy to dodge. He does a swipe, and because I have the heal from Deadpool, even if I make small mistakes, as long as I don't make large mistakes and get one-shotted, there shouldn't be any way that he can really kill me unless he kills me in one hit with a much bigger, stronger attack. But just these regular ground pounds with his feet or with his fists are not too difficult. You can see you can just iframe or immunity your way out of it. There is one additional attack that I don't always see, but sometimes I do see it, and sometimes I don't know what exactly the trigger is for it, whether there's a warning. Sometimes I think it's your power is mine, but essentially what happens is the outside of your screen will turn pink or purple, and when that happens, either your damage will hit your teammates or your attacks will be reflected back at you. In that case, you'll basically either one-shot your team by killing them, or you will die instantly. So be really careful when that happens to you. You have to switch immediately. Switching will remove the effect from your character because, of course, the other characters on your team are not playing, so they don't have that effect. They don't have that debuff. But you really need to look out for that and pay attention because when it happens, it's really, really bad. So... oh, I think I saw it there for just a second, but then it got taken away. You guys can see, I think you guys, if you slow down the video, you'll be able to see that. The purple showed up for just a second because then Angel's leadership triggered and it got debuffed out, and I didn't get I didn't get punished. When these purple circles go around you, if you're playing with your teammates, my advice to you is don't run into your teammates because they're going to take the damage, right? Run away from the battlefield. Run over here, this space, so that you don't bring it to your teammates. Another tip I have for you guys is the mini sentinels that he summons here. Don't kill them, because during this phase when he jumps up into the air, you have a target for your attacks. If you can attack Master Mold, you have a target for your attacks by not killing the sentinels. If you kill the smaller sentinels, they don't do that much damage, to be honest, and then you'll have a target. Here he tries to heal himself, so you just need to break his shield before he heals. There we go, I broke it. If you don't break the shield, he heals about 10 bars of health, so it'll make it quite difficult to... oh, I might die here. Whew. That's a lot of damage. So yeah, that stun, that jump and that leap and stun is probably his most dangerous attack. That's the one that you want to look out for the most. And that's why I recommend leaving some of your... I'm not pressing the co-op skill, I'm such a noob. That's why I recommend leaving some of the sentinels up so you'll always have a target. And because of that, I also recommend going more towards the corners of the arena, either to the left corner or the right corner, so that you can have a target, because the sentinels spawn on each side rather than spawning in the middle. I don't know what he's going to do now. He's kind of just standing still. Okay, I do kind of want to end this soon because I'm a little bit worried I'm going to die to one of those. I think I'm going to die to the leap. That's kind of my feeling. I have a bad feeling about this, guys. Oh, this might be a good proc. There we go. Nice. So you can see Deadpool can basically solo this entire fight. And my damage in the end, I don't know, what did I do? 97% of the damage. And I know the rewards are garbage for this game mode, but it's fun and it's challenging, and you get to play with your alliance members, so there's a social aspect to it. I can't wait for when this game mode has invites for friends list or invites for just any player by searching up their username, and I can't wait for when Netmarble actually decides to buff this game mode so that it actually gives a reasonable number of rewards. The final tip I have for you guys is to just keep practicing. You're going to lose, you're going to struggle. Just remember my tips about debuffs, about bringing 2 damage dealing characters so that you can use one instead of the other one if one dies, and worry more about that than team ups. I think a lot of people get really caught up with having a team that looks cool because it's got lots of team up and lots of badges. That's really not important. It's much more important to build a team that is balanced in the sense that you're bringing in, multiple characters that can function together. So this is a much stronger team, even though there are no team ups, because you have 2 DPS, actually 3 DPS. You've got your support skill with the extra damage to supervillains, and you have your debuff leadership. Finally, my last piece of advice for you guys is the boost points. Don't use boost points if you have them over 100, but my suggestion is if you've done other content already, if you've already done your story missions, your special missions, your daily missions, etc., your epic quest missions, and then you have extra boost points and you don't have a lot of energy, that's a perfect time to play Giant Boss, because you can burn 70 boost points to boost your reward count to ×3, and only spend 25 energy. So it's really good in those instances where you have lots of boost points and low energy. For example, when you wake up, I don't know if that's the case for you, but it is sometimes for me, and then you can just quickly kind of rebalance them. But of course, you can also play without using boost points, although as you saw, my rewards were kind of dog shit. So we still have to work on the rewards with Netmarble. I've already tweeted them, but you can obviously let them know on Twitter as well, or on Mobirum or Reddit or whatever. But I'm really, really happy with this game mode. I think it's very fun. It's so much fun to watch on Twitch when people are asking me to play it, and they're kind of checking out my strategies and my team ups. If you want more detailed advice, you can definitely hit me up on Twitch for that. If you guys want me to make a follow-up video for this with lots of different clears, with lots of different teams, I can also do that. Let me know down below in the comments. Subscribe if you enjoyed the content and you want to support me. Hit the bell if you don't want to miss any of my Master Mold takedowns. And of course, if you like what you see, I hope to see you again tomorrow. You scum!